Hi, I'm Emo Kitsune, mom, small business owner, and we're going to talk about if making stickers at home are for you. I'm going to be talking about how much it costs, how do you make the stickers step by step, troubleshooting, how to store them, and you can decide whether or not all that is good for you or not. Also, at the end of the video, I'm going to recommend some other really good YouTubers that talked about making stickers that I recommend after watching this video. Let's get into it. Let's start with the pros of making stickers at home. 1, cheaper in the long term per sticker. 2, make exactly as much as you need. 3, quality control. 4, equipment for making stickers can be used for other products like bookmarks, prints, and other craft things. The cons of making stickers at home: homemade stickers are water resistant but not waterproof. The difference being, if you splash some water on your sticker that's on a water bottle, it'll be fine. If you submerge that sticker in water, it will not be fine. 2, you'll waste paper and time because mistakes happen, and so you need a lot of patience when you're making stickers at home. 3, it is very expensive upfront. You need a really decent printer that is going to be with you for the long haul, as well as a decent cutter. And also the quality is not as nice as professional stickers, and they can feel a little bit cheap because you are printing from a home printer as opposed to a professional printer. So here's the thing, if you're someone who likes making like crafty things, then making stickers at home would be totally for you. However, if you're an artist and you just want to get your art on, some stickers, and you don't want to have to fuss with your cutter or your printer, you just want the final product, then maybe ordering stickers from a manufacturer is more for you. But honestly, at the time of making this video, we are in the middle of a trade war, and so maybe more people might consider making stickers from home versus getting it from a manufacturer. Here's what you need. 1, you need a printer. For the love of God, I am begging you, please get an eco printer and do not get an HP printer. It's a whole thing, but just don't get an HP printer. Get an Ecotech printer, and an Ecotech printer is one of these guys here, and instead of using cartridges that cost you like your firstborn child, you just buy bottles and you refill the ink, and you can see the actual amount of ink in the printer. The reason why you don't want the ink cartridge printers is because ink cartridges are a huge scam. Ink cartridges actually dry up over time, so if you don't use your printer ink, it will just dry up. But with the Ecotech printers, like with my printer, I've done a modest amount of printing, and I've changed out the ink maybe once after 2 years, right? So these things are amazing. So it doesn't really matter, in my opinion, the type, I think. I know Canon is a pretty popular brand, but honestly, just do your research. Just don't get a cartridge printer. Get one of the ones where you can refill the ink, and the ink is gonna cost you actually, I shouldn't even talk about cost, because Lord knows what things are going to be costing in the future as I'm making this video. But moving on here, the second thing you need is a portrait cutter, so that's the other big expense. So here's the thing, right? You don't actually need a cutter. You can hand cut stickers, and I have happily bought stickers from vendors at artist alleys, and they've cut it up by hand. Obviously, that's anecdotal. I can't speak for other customers, but I don't mind hand cut stickers, just as long as you cut along the edge. My pet peeve is when I buy stickers from an artist and they didn't take their time to properly cut around the sticker, and it's just this big blob around the design. Don't do that. But point is, if you don't want to be hand cutting stickers, you can get a cutter. Now, I will say there is not any perfect cutter. From the time making this video, literally every single brand of cutter, either it's a Silhouette or a Creek cut, they all have their little quirks and little things that's wrong with them, whether they're too loud, the software is finicky. It's a whole thing. And honestly, at this point, as long as there's not a cutter that has overwhelmingly negative reviews, you should be fine with whatever brand of cutter you're gonna get. Just know that cutter is not going to print out perfectly. I see so many YouTube videos where everyone's making stickers and everything comes out perfect. That's not how that works. I think every printer and cutter has its quirks. You just have to be okay with knowing how to wrestle with your equipment to get it to do what you want it to do, but it's not that bad, I promise, right? It's not that big of a deal. So with the 2 big expenses out of the way, the next thing you want to get is vinyl paper. There's this very good video I found. I'm going to leave it up here and put it in the link down below, of someone, and this YouTuber goes through different kinds of paper and how they printed. So these are the types of paper that I use. I tried out the koala paper because everyone, well, not everyone, but a lot of people were raving that it's a very good sticker quality, but I found that for my branding, a lot of my stickers need like a good like dark black, and for whatever reason, the koala paper, my black ink comes out more like a cool, like soft black. So I'm sure koala paper is good if you're doing more pastel stickers, but I actually went back to my other like cheapo brand name vinyl paper because the black ink came out a lot better. But ultimately, the paper, as long as it's vinyl, you should be good. Second, I highly recommend getting a guillotine cutter. You don't need to get one of these, but these are way better than the ones that slide, unless you're getting like a heavy duty sliding one, but these, chef's kiss, and you can use them for so many things. Now, I personally don't store my stickers in plastic bins. I know a lot of other artists, they have a lot of these small like plastic drawers that they store their stickers on. When your business gets really big, I can definitely understand why you'd need like a large like drawer like that. But my space in my house is very small, and okay, no shade if you have drawers like this. I low-key think they're kind of ugly. I don't like clear plastic bins. I have a couple and I slap stickers all over them because I just think that they just look not that great. But point is, I personally organize my stickers by putting them in binders because I can just put them away on my library shelf and they're not like noticeable. I highly recommend if you get a binder. So you also want to get coin pouches, and I found ones that were 3x3. And the stickers fit in there really snug. It's like there's no wasted space. So for example, if you use a plastic drawers and you put your stickers in it, there's so much like negative space in the drawer because stickers are these like small, like tiny things, like they're not filling up your drawer space. But if you put your stickers away in a binder, not only is it less space, but when I had to pack up for an artist table, I literally just had to grab my binder and stick it in my suitcase and it was good to go, right? It's very easy to carry around. The downside, however, to these coin pouches is I did accidentally snap one of the straps that you tuck the flap in. So that was because I overstuffed the stickers in one of the slots. So if you do organize your stickers like this, just make sure you're not like overstuffing your stickers. So per sheet, they don't fit like a whole lot of stickers. But if you're like me, again, I'm starting out, I don't have a lot per design, so I don't need like it to fill like a lot of stickers, but just be careful. But you know what? It's no big deal. I'm just gonna like super glue the strap back on or something like that. Like I can fix the strap. And then of course you're gonna need lamination paper. My personal favorites are the broken glass and the stars. I don't like the one where it's just holographic because you can barely notice it. And I also don't really like the ones where it's like too much is going on. So like the heart ones, there's like too much pattern going on. So I like something that's more subtle for the lamination. So I would personally recommend the broken glass one or stars, but obviously you can pick whatever type of lamination you want. You can get them off of Amazon. They're pretty inexpensive. And this is what you need to make your stickers water resistant. Again, they're not waterproof, they are water resistant. And if you're getting lamination, you're going to need a squeegee. These things are great. I don't know why it took me forever to get one. I had been like hand putting down the lamination paper for like years, and then I saw a couple people apply it using this little handy dandy tool, and now I cannot go back. So those are the materials that you need. I put the cost up on screen, but obviously, like I said, we're in the middle of a trade war as I'm making this video, so who the hell knows, but you're gonna get a vague idea of items that cost a lot versus low cost. And I also want to reiterate, like, things you don't need from this list is you don't need a portrait cutter if you're okay with hand cutting your stickers and you're not making a lot. You don't really need the guillotine, that's just like an extra bonus. And then for storing your stickers, you can store your stickers however you want. I recommend the binders because they take up less space and it's like not as expensive. So moving on, here's a step-by-step with how you want to make your stickers. Step 1, you want to plan out your stickers. No, I'm not sponsored by Milanote. In fact, low-key, I think they're kind of expensive. I tried them out, not a fan, sorry. But however you plan your stickers, whether it's Milanote or whatever organization program. But yeah, I recommend writing down a list of types of stickers you want to make as well as ideas. After you have your list of stickers ideas, then you just design your stickers. I'm going to advocate for hand drawing your stickers. I'm not an AI girly, and so I know there are some people who are making like AI stickers where they'll generate stuff and, you know, blah, 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 blah. To each their own, you know, to each their own, but hand draw your stickers, please. Then once you're done drawing your stickers, then you want to assemble them in your cutter program. A lot of these programs are very straightforward to use, and they come with the cutter when you buy them. You want to print them out. Now when you print them out, so this took me a while, but you will possibly need to fiddle around with your printer settings to get the quality that you need. For me, the settings that I had to switch mine to is I have to make sure that I set it to glossy paper, which sounds weird because I'm not using glossy paper, but whenever I set my printer to glossy paper, it puts down way more ink on my vinyl paper, and so the stickers come out a lot more like vibrant. After you print them out, a tip that I got from another YouTuber who I'm going to put on the screen right here and also in the link down below, they recommended leaving your sticker paper to dry for at least 24 hours. I don't remember all the science behind it, but essentially it's to make sure that the ink settles. So after I print out a bunch of stickers, I actually put them away in a drawer and I just let them like sit for 24 hours. So apparently it's supposed to help them become extra water resistant, and also so that the ink doesn't, like, when you put the lamination paper on top of it, the ink doesn't like start to lead out and like blur over time. Now, you have your stickers cutted. What you want to do is, if you're using lamination paper, and apparently at the time of recording this, both Cricut and Silhouette and most cutters have this issue that the registration marks, right? If you cover the registration marks with the lamination paper, I think the glossy and reflectiveness messes with the sensors, and it's usually a nightmare and things tend to cut crooked. So what you want to do is you actually want to cut your lamination sheets. That's why I have the guillotine, is I can cut my sheets smaller and I apply them right below the registration marks and make sure that it's not covering up the registration marks. You want to crease the top, not too much, but just enough so you can stick it on the top to kind of have it firmly like set. You also want to crease it enough, because the first time I tried doing this, I didn't like properly crease it and the paper kept like trying to move every which way and it ended up being a mess. So don't be afraid to like properly like crease it down, set the top below the registration marks, and then you use your squeegee and you let Jesus take the wheel. If you hesitate, the lamination paper can smell your fear and you're going to hook up your stickers like this. Okay, I'm kidding. I've seen different artists apply it differently. For me, I found out that if I just go very confidently and quickly, like the key is making sure that the lamination paper is being applied equally on either side. If one side is like either further behind or further ahead, then it's gonna make things uneven. You're gonna get those creases. It's fine, it happens, but I just pretty much, like I said, I just let Jesus take the wheel. I just go shoo, and I hope for the best. And hopefully you're not like me and your cutter actually works, but I have to fight with my cutter a lot because because ever since I've gotten my Silhouette cutter, it has never detected the registration marks. Like I always have to use the manual setting in order to get it to register. I don't know if I got a just faulty cutter. I mean, I did buy it from Amazon and that could happen, but I have never been able to get the automatic registration to work. I always have to set it manually. It's fine. That's the quirk with my cutter. I just have to just set it up and then it will print. Did I say print? I meant cut, and then it will cut. So that's the process of making your stickers. Now you might be wondering, you will see in this video as well as my shorts, if you do follow into my shorts, I have a book underneath my sticker cutter. The reason being is because for the longest time, I was trying to figure out why things were cutting like slightly off. So pretty much if that like paper is like hanging off the cutter, there's a chance that while it's cutting, it could shift during the cutting process. It technically shouldn't happen, but I've heard that it could. But point is, the reason why I have that book there is so the paper is even and nothing is hanging off, so gravity's not gonna like do anything weird or slightly shift things by a single pixel. If you notice that your stickers are cutting slightly off, take a look and see if your paper's like dangling from your cutter, and that might be causing your things to cut slightly off-centered. So that's why I have that book there. I had a lot of fun cutting these stickers, but let me go through all of the ups I did with these stickers. One, this sticker here, there was one transparent pixel in the middle of the sticker, and it just like the cutter like made a little tiny hole in all of the stickers, right? My partner couldn't notice it when I showed it to them, but I noticed, so that was an F up. Typically when I make stickers, I always put an outline setting that should fill up all of the extra transparent pixels. The point is, when you're making stickers, just double make sure that there's no like transparent spots in your stickers that you might have missed. 2, I didn't laminate the stickers 100% correctly. I talked about this as this happened. I hesitated, my lamination sheet smelled fear, and I'm gonna get stuff like this where it just crinkles sometimes. It happens. If the crinkle is like super bad, I don't throw them away. What I do is I slap them on like envelopes and just things that I mail out so that they have a second life. I don't just completely chuck them away. And then any sticker that's not completely effed up, they're gonna go in some kind of like grab envelope or grab bag of sorts for the future. And then another mistake I made is some of the colors did not come out bright enough. Now that's my fault because I am not so much of a design nerd and I don't print with CMYK. I pretty much just use RGB, and I'm not too picky with how my colors come out when it comes to my art and printing from home. However, the issue I have is not that the colors weren't accurate for these stickers, it was that the colors did not print out bright/light enough. So for these stickers here, I did have there's nothing wrong with them. Like, I still sold them, but for the next iteration of them, I will lighten up the color. So that's something else to keep in mind when you're making stickers. And depending on, you know, how much you care about the colors, just make sure that there are some colors, especially pinks and purples, which is just my luck because that's my brand colors and the colors I love to use. Pinks and purples just don't translate well from RGB to CMYK, which is like the inks that printers use. The TLDR, if you don't know what I'm talking about, when you look at colors on your computer monitor, that's called RGB. The inks that print out stuff is called CMYK. I'm not gonna get into the nerdy stuff. It's just 2 different ways that light goes into our eyeballs, and what you see in the monitor is not going to be the same colors that print out on a printer. If you do things in CMYK from the get-go, that's usually closer to what you're going to get on the printer. But I am lazy and I don't care that much. So I don't really go through all of that. But there are some companies where they're like, you better be using CMYK because we can't guarantee that it's going to come up the way it is. And that is how I made my stickers. A couple of stickers sold at the convention I went to, and I think stickers are great to have as a low cost item, especially at conventions, because sometimes people, you know, maybe they have like, they're on like their last like dollar, or I don't think anyone sells stickers for $1 these days. Guys, I'm getting old. Like, back in my day before inflation, stickers at artist alleys were $1. I'm not even kidding. But point is, stickers are good low price items. Personally, for me, I think for selling stickers online, I think buying stickers individually might be a little bit of a big ask, or it may not seem like a good value. So I'm gonna be selling stickers in groups. So I personally like die cut stickers. I don't like doing sticker sheets because if you F up a sticker sheet, now you gotta like throw out the whole sticker sheet, or the whole sticker sheet's not good. And I don't know what it is. Like my cutter, I don't trust my cutter. So I exclusively do die cut stickers, and I'm gonna like group them up in like kind of themed, and I'm gonna sell them in packs online. And then when I go to like in-person fairs, then people are more likely to buy them individually. But yeah, that is how stickers are cut. Thank you for watching my video, and I'll see you next time.